Salvete Omnes, this is I'm Amelia, also known as the Martian Geek, and welcome back to another episode of Mega Man X3. In the last episode, we took on this guy, the Ice Boss, Blizzard Buffalo, and from him we got a weapon that I will absolutely never use for anything that it's not mandatory for. If I were going in weakness order, this boss would be up next, but I am not, and I choose to do this stage second. I have a couple different reasons for doing this stage second, one of which I guess no longer really applies, but I'll explain them in a minute. For now, all you need to know is this is the stage of Tunnel Rhino. He's a rhinoceros who has drills all over his body. And naturally, his stage is the underground one. You see these enemies, and they will shoot at you once they've fallen to the ground. The rocks they drop are easy enough to dodge. Also, the music in this stage is probably my least favorite in the game. It's not really bad, it's just really bland. What you're hearing right now is just about all it ever really does. Doom, 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 doom. It's like the Mega Man X3 equivalent of the Super Mario Bros. Underground theme, pretty much. Also, you can see that heart tank up there, but we have no way of getting it right now because that rock is in the way. And to get the rock out of the way, we need to have another special weapon. From a stage that, needless to say, I have not done yet. These dirt-dropping things are fairly harmless, depending on where they're positioned. If you get caught under one of them, they will push you down. If that happens over spikes, well, welcome to death. But for the most part, they're pretty easy to get past. So now, why do I do this stage second? Well, actually my original reason for doing it second was because, also, very easy to get sub-tank there, another reason to do this stage second. And down here we find enemies that you really want to shoot with uncharged shots. Do not charge around these guys, because if you charge, they will charge, and if they charge, it hurts when you get hit with their shots. Believe me. I actually didn't even realize that was the case until I watched another video of this stage. And we find another sub-boss door. And it's empty. Speaking of secret bosses, as I was saying, the original reason I had for doing this stage second was because between Blizzard Buffalo and Tunnel Rhino, you cover both of the secret boss's weakness weapons. Or special bosses, really, since they're not all that secret. And if you don't do these two stages first, there is a chance that you can run into one of those bosses when you don't have their weakness weapon. Also, new enemy here. It's kind of a drill tank, and it has an annoying habit of blocking your shots if either of its drills are actually out. Just time your shots and jump over the drills. See what I mean? Shoot it when it doesn't have its drills out like that. Now that I'm not using weaknesses, I still like to do this stage second because even if I'm not using Tunnel Rhino's weapon as a weakness, you actually do need to use it for a couple other things, one of them being the arm upgrade, which I can actually get right after this stage, if I so desire. So, there we have it. There's another upgrade up there, but once again there's a boulder blocking the way and I can't get rid of that yet. Down here, there's another boulder, just fall down here, and another mid-boss door, and as you can imagine, this one actually does belong to a mid-boss. It's a big tank with the spike on the front, and it is really repetitive if you know how to deal with it. Pretty much, just keep climbing the walls and shooting it in the head. If you climb too high on the walls, or if you are too high, when it is about to attack you, it will use a different attack that's a bit harder to dodge. And needless to say, if you're just standing right in front of it, you get spiked. Also, if you're still on the wall when it hits the wall, you get shaken off it. So, this is one of those cases where you just want to be careful with your timing, and once you get the pattern down, you'll really never have a problem with it. And for whatever reason, the music quits on you after defeating this guy. I'm not really sure why that is. But yeah, it explodes and the entire screen turns white, and that was awfully dramatic for what was just a mere mid-boss. And it drops a small weapon energy capsule, which is absolutely useless right now. Shame I got hit there. I could have used that for sub-tank energy. Oh yeah, and as you just saw, this stage has another version of those enemies we saw in that one section of Blizzard Buffalo stage, except this time they're just covered with dirt instead of ice, or at least icy rocks. They act exactly the same, so... Oh, now energy crabs in conjunction with drill tanks. I think that... Ow! Wow, that guy hit me a lot of times. I think one of these actually... No, maybe not. Now this... Whoa! Yes, let's completely press the wrong button. That is not the fire button. Wow. Brilliant. And I think I only have one life left, yes. So if I do not get to the boss with full health, I will have to do the entire stage over again. That is one reason you might not want to do Tunnel Rhino's stage second, is that his stage is pretty long, honestly, and it's not nearly as easy as Blizzard Buffalo's was. Okay, now my jump button isn't responding correctly. What the heck? Wow, already down to half health. That does not bode well for my chances. Okay, jump. Jump. That's not good. You can't just sometimes not be able to jump in a Mega Man game. Yeah, maybe I'm just timing it wrong or something. Do we have to fight the sub-boss again? Yeah, at least it's easy. But they really should have put a checkpoint after this thing. Yes, we do! What a waste of time. Also, if you're playing this on a real Super Nintendo, this is a good boss to give you carpal tunnel syndrome. At least with the keyboard, you're using three, or at least I am using 3 different fingers for shoot, jump, and dash. So it's not too much of a problem here. And actually, as we'll find out, the stage boss is the same way. But we'll get to that when we get to him. For now, enjoy overdramatic explosion and palette change. And music cutting out. And still a small weapon energy capsule. Aren't you willing to drop me some sub-tank energy or something? Please let me be full up on health by the time I reach the boss, or else let one of these enemies drop a 1-up. Enemies do not really drop 1-ups very often, in the X series at least. Actually, pretty much hardly ever do enemies drop 1-ups in the X series. You know, I'm just gonna dash past that guy and shoot him from behind. Invincibility frames! So anyway, this is about where I died, and if you position yourself just right, you can actually shoot this guy with charge shots without having to deal with him. Okay, there's the boss door. See how close I was to the end of the stage that time? So, we have one chance to do this. Let's hope we do it right. Say hello to Tunnel Rhino. And even though his arena is only half the size of Blizzard Buffalo's, he also charges. And he has a couple different other attacks he can do. He'll shoot those drills at you in a group of 3 like that. He also has a nasty habit of faking you out like that. And that is easier to get around if you have the air dash. And once again, as you can imagine, this boss fight goes quicker if you're not using a controller. Because you can fire off charge shots every time instead of having to use the same finger for everything. And, oh yeah, and when he flashes like that, he's invincible. Whoa, almost missed my cue there. Well, I haven't gotten hit yet. Still time for that things to go oh so horribly wrong. Another pattern-based boss. Actually, another ramming pattern-based boss. Wow, that was a lot. Holy crap, that's like the most... Holy crap, that's like the most times I've seen him do the fake out ever. But he's down. Yeah, that actually went surprisingly well. Fights with him don't usually go quite that well. He's still probably one of the easier bosses, but it's that fake out move that can really catch you. If you're not prepared for that, especially if you don't have air dash, then yeah, you can get rammed in the face and possibly hit a second time. But now we've defeated him, and from a boss that has a similar kind of attack pattern as Blizzard Buffalo, comes a weapon that's fairly similar to Blizzard Buffalo's. We get Tornado Fang, which is a drill. That's basically what it is. It's a drill. Similar concept to Frost Shield, but it does seem to at least be a little bit more powerful, a little faster, and it can continuously hit enemies. So it's marginally better than Blizzard Buffalo's weapon. Still not one of the great weapons of Mega Man X. But anyway, I'm rambling, and we have a cutscene now that we've defeated 2 bosses. This is Dr. Doppler, and he says he is the Maverick Hunter I failed to catch last time. I had no idea he is so powerful. Bit and bite. Bring that Maverick Hunter to me. Alive, if possible. Affirmative, Dr. Doppler. Mysterious Maverick. Alive, Dr. Doppler? You are so kind. Watch your mouth or I'll put you back where I found you. Even with your enhancements, you are still no match for me. Thanks for the upgrade, Doctor, but I have a score to settle. And I'll do it my way. Fine, just make sure you do it. I still can't believe that Maverick Hunter defeated my master twice in the past. And now we get the password screen. So who were those people anyway? Well, Bit and Bite, the yellow and red robots you saw, those were actually the special bosses that I mentioned earlier. So now that we've defeated 2 bosses and those guys have shown up, we're gonna start having to fight them eventually. And the Mysterious Maverick, well, if you've played Mega Man X1, just from... I mean, it's pretty obvious who that is. And Dr. Doppler, we don't have to worry about him until the Fortress stages, really. But now, we have 2 stages completed, and I will see you in the next episode.